Howdy again, 55 off grid here. Kind of starting this over a little bit. Had some video difficulties. So this is the trellis build. As you'll see the trellis, I'll show it to you out in the garden. I think you might have seen it if you've watched my other videos. Very simple to build. Everything is 1.5 inches wide, everything. And then it just depends on your sizes. So I build mine, I need 4 6-foot long, 1.5 inches. These are cedar. I just take cedar fence boards and I rip them down on the table saw at 1.5 inches wide. So 4 6-foot. Let's make sure I'm not getting this confused here. 4 34-inch, and that makes it the width of my garden bed. So you can be 34, 40, 50, 12, whatever you need to fit. That's what's nice about this build. And then these 15-inch cross braces, which I've already put some of the little corners on there, so I'm going to kind of mix the video up so you can see some of that, because this camera I'm looking at right now, I don't know. I'm an idiot, huh? Okay, we're back now. Kind of got a little organized, stuff moved around so I can work. This will be my first step, and also to let you know, I'm just using 1.5 inch drywall screws. They're cheap. They're dark in color, so they kind of, they don't look funny in it. But the whole idea of this is we're gonna build cheap. It's for a garden, not a piano. It's for a garden. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get going on this. And remember, you guys like it? Give me a like, thumbs up, subscribe so you can watch upcoming videos of garden builds, whatever crazy thing I got going on. So yeah. Okay, so first thing that I do, these are going to get mounted right on here. Sorry about the video. Remember I told you I had difficulties. But those two pieces go on the ends just like that. And we'll line them up flush on the ends. These are like little end caps. There's 4 of them on the whole thing. Line it up so it's flush with the end. Going to put a hole in right here into this little block. And that's what's going to hold it in place. So that's about how it looks. Grab our screw gun, set our pieces up there so we can kind of see where we want it to go into the wood. We want to get, into the meat of the wood, so line it up like that and just drill a little bit of a hole. And you see I use a small countersink drill bit here. It doesn't drill all the way through the piece of wood, so I don't have to worry about messing up my work table. So, yep, you just put her on there, drill in, it tapers it a little bit, but the bit doesn't go all the way through, doesn't hurt my table. So, anyway, let's get to it here. We want to line those two up together. We'll get a screw, and let's put her in here, line up the piece on the end. I like to set it down on the table, actually. The table will hold that end flush. You turn it over and put it straight down on top of the workbench. Just like that. And then slide it over, grab your screw gun. You'll need some room to work for the gun, so the drill, slide it towards the edge like that, and just run the screw in. Kind of gently, don't get too rough with it. Sometimes I'll, take a look at it, want to go in just a little bit further, but these small pieces of wood are fragile, so they'll crack. And there you go. Got one put on there now. And we'll be continuing on. Let's get the other one put on. And same thing, just like the other side. Line it up, get your screw. We already did the pilot hole. Start the screw in there. Stand her up on the edge of the table. That holds the two ends flush. And run her in the wood. Careful, don't get your fingers. And yep, there you go. Run that screw in just till it's just below flush with the wood. Not too much, or it'll just start splitting everything. And there we go. That's one ready to go. So let's kick her up in the speed here. Blast out another one. So one more, see here, line up the pieces, put the screw in, easy going. Once again, I apologize about this darn video. My other camera, like I said, I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, there's two, and let's bust her out here. We want to get 4 total for this project. So yeah, this is what we're gonna want. And there we go, looking good. Okay.
Easy to go, you know. I'm not sure if there's specific steps it needs to be, but that's how I go about it. So yep, that people picker slow down thinger there. I don't know what went wrong. So anyway, we'll continue on with the build. So I got one section built. This is one side, and as you can see, here's this cross brace. Put a mark up 3 feet. Put this at that 3-foot mark. Put your screws in. Same thing up on top. There's your end wall. So let's get to busy and build another one. Okay, we're gonna move some of this stuff out of our way. And we'll get to using those pieces. So you take one of your 6-footers, measuring tape and pencil, glasses off my head, with safety glasses, but I'm not doing any cutting, so I'm gonna set these aside so they quit bugging me. Measure 3 feet up. Whoop. Put a little mark. Same thing on the other one. Measure 3 feet up. Oh, look at that. There's already a mark there. All right. Cross brace. Stand this up on edge. Put your cross brace in. So that's the bottom on this side. So put your little gussets down to the bottom. Set that right on your 3-foot mark. Take your pilot hole drill bit. Whoop. There it is. Eyeball into that gusset. Remember, you want the screw to come in, you know, right about here, my thumbnail, kind of in the meat of this little gusset, because they're kind of fragile. They crack and they break. That's why I just make a handful of them. Now make sure I'm not putting this on upside down. Wouldn't be the first time. Tell you what. Right there. Screw and tightener. And then I watch the board. As soon as that board sucks up tight, I stop. You keep pushing on it, and yeah, it doesn't work out. It cracks things, and you move that out of the way. Slide this down. Let's get our other one. Put it right here. Pilot drill. Line this right up with the top. Put us in a drilly here. Another screw. Real simple to build. Real simple to build. Not a piano. It's a garden bed. Run that screw in that gusset. Oh, get all out of control here. Yep. Now you see here this gap. Watch that gap. There, it just came tight. We're good. Okay, let's get the other side put on. Flip it over. Take your, that's got a big old knot down here on the end, so I'm going to flip it over. The screws don't like to go in where those big knots are at. Just kind of line them up. Get it right there on top. Get your pilot hole. Get the top flush up here. Pick where you want it. Drill your little pilot hole. Couple screws for this side. Put one in. Flush up here. Holding them both down on the table. You watch that tighten up. Whoop. As soon as it tightens up, we're good. Slide this way. Look for our 3-foot mark. which it's on the other side out here, so that's all right. I can still line her up right there, looks good. Oh, pilot hole. Screw 'em driver, hold them down tight. So see what happened? That screw won't go in. I hit the screw on the top. No big deal. We'll just kind of move our, put the screw in a little bit of an angle so it'll go just past that other screw. There. Here's our other wall. Easy peasy. Okay, well, we're back with our next step. So here's our end walls. Those are what we just finished up, 2 of them. And now we're going to put the base plate that helps stabilize it inside the garden. And that's this 2x4. So I went with 32 inches wide. 32 gives us a 8-inch gap for the cross brace to come up, which you'll see, which basically is going to sit right here, just like my measuring tape. It's going to be a gusset in there to hold this from tipping over. So I took the board, I marked the center, then I marked out 8 inches both ways, so I have 16 inches here. This is 16 inches wide. So that's our outside. So we're going to want to put this on here with those marks. Those marks are the outside. So we want the mark on that side. So an easy way to do it, because we use the gussets again. So I want the gusset to be in here. I want that board to sit right against it. This line here is going to be the outside. If I put one of these in there, the board sit right against it. Now they like to be a little more aggressively drilled so you don't crack these. Okay, so we're going to go with a regular drill bit so we can go all the way through. And since I don't like dinging up my table, I look around for a scrap piece of wood, which you'd think I'd have everywhere. Let me get one. Okay, let's try this again. So I want this to fit right up against this line here. So I'm going to drill a hole about like this to hold this in place. So, about like so. That's about the worst drill bit I think I got. Anyway, now you can take the screw and put it where that's at, and you can look and go, okay, yeah, enough's gonna go through to go into that. See, it's all the way through, so I'm gonna get 3/4 of an inch in there, and you can put this halfway towards the top, towards the bottom. I just like to put them right about the middle. Just eyeball the middle. Nothing exact. Planter bed. Not too tight, you'll split that right in half. Now we want to do the same thing. Put one on this side. Here we go. Okie dokie. So now that I actually thought about it, I should have put these down closer to the bottom so I can leave it all flush on the table. So when I put this over here to attach it, I'm going to have to lift these up to be flush. If I had just put these down on the bottom, it would have been easier. But we can still do it. This is going to go in like this. These are going to go in between those. These bury down in the ground. Cross braces are going to go in just like this. And there's our gussets to keep the whole thing from tipping over side to side. So yeah, better pay attention here. I'm putting things together, and not the first time I'd have to take something apart. So make sure this is all the way down to the bottom of the 2x4. And let's put some screws in. good morning. So yesterday we worked on that trellis build video and it got kind of long, so I decided to make it into 2 parts. So this will be the end of part 1 and part 2 will be coming up here just shortly. All right.